Okay, session is recorded. It to be done. Good day, guys. Welcome to another Zoom session. Welcome to another Zoom session. I believe this is like Zoom session number 22, 23, around there, right? To those who are new, welcome to the team and everything. I did a lot of admin lately, so I'm sure there's a lot of new people here. But guys, before I go on, we need to make that, guys need to start with the first session, you know what I mean? You need to start with Zoom session 01, because that's like a full-on course. The first 3-4 sessions are like just foundations, you know, like just me basically teaching, you know, market structure, how to draw your trend line, where to set your take profit, where to set your stop loss, all that stuff. Because I get people who ask me, dog, where do I set my take profit, all that. Guys, that's all answered in the first 3 Zoom sessions. All right. So like, you're not going to buy a book. You're not going to buy a book and then start it on page 20. You know, obviously you just start it on page 1. You know what I mean, guys? So same thing. There's no shortcuts to this game. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I see people saying they can't hear me. Can you hear me? Hear me. This person always says yes, daddy. Audio is good. It's okay, cool. All right, guys. So I just want to, before I go on, somebody asked, bro, before we start, I wanted to ask if it's important to keep a journal. Yes, guys, it's important. I even mentioned this in the first couple of sessions. You need to have a trading plan. In your trading plan, you need to have your rules, you know. Let me just share mine. No third touch, no entry, no retest, no entry. Always wait for a third touch. Always enter on a valid trend line or a valid support zone. You know what I mean, we don't chase the markets. Trading is 80% waiting, 10% buying, 10% selling. Most of the time, you're going to be waiting as a trader. People think as a trader, you're going to be trading most of the time, but no, you're actually going to be waiting most of the time, and then you're going to be buying and selling. You know, now you're like, trading is 80% waiting, 10% buying, 10% selling. You know, even when you in trade, still going to be waiting. So guys, you need to have patience. You need to have patience for those setups to play out, to form. A setup won't form in 1 minute. You know what I mean, guys? It can take a day, it can take a couple of days. I'm sure people here know, especially the way that we trade, guys. We trade a higher probability setups. We trade those trend lines. You know, we trade the big time frames daily, H4, H1. So those setups do take time to play out, but when they do play out, they move and we hold them. You know what I mean? So I'm just addressing that because you get people who ask, bro, please send a signal. Like, guys, me, I can't move in the market and make that kind of stick come to our trend line quicker. You know what I mean? Okay. So let's start with our session. So let's start. So you guys know the first like 4 sessions were like foundation, basically. There I was just, you know, teaching, straight up teaching how to analyze the market. Just nice. Okay. So you guys know that we always start analysis on the daily time frame, right? We do this, guys. I always emphasize this, but some people still don't get it, guys. You need to start your analysis on the daily time frame. Daily time frame, that's where we connect our trend line. That's where we read market structure. You know what I mean? So we always start on the daily. Let me just put this down. So there we go, guys. Literally. So let's get straight into the session. Let me switch off this thing. Guys, start on the daily time frame, right? And when you're on the daily time frame, we zoom out 3 to 4 times. The reason why we zoom out is just so we can see the market clearer. You know what I mean? So 1, 2, 3. There we go. It's just like a book, guys. When you open a book, you shouldn't have books. I should actually get books. When you open a book, you're not gonna open the book and read it from here, you know, you're gonna read it from a distance. So same thing with the market, guys. I know this might sound like dummy stuff and everything, but guys, like it's the simple techniques and tips and tricks that'll help you progress as a trader. You know what I mean? Like if you're opening the charts and you're analyzing from here, like you don't know the whole story of the market. You don't, like, you know, you don't you didn't get to see market structure or how the market's been moving, right? So we always start on daily and we zoom out 3 to 4 times, right? That's on trading view. If you're using your phone, yeah, just squeeze your screen, you know. So yeah, guys, so like I said, always on the daily time frame, and the daily time frame is where we actually connect our trend line. We connect our trend line on our high lows and our higher highs, right? So let's get straight into it. So you can see, where's my trend line? 2 there. I see my first low, 1, 2, three touches make the trend line valid. We can see that this trend line is actually valid. So we keep on extending it, guys, and you can see that we've just put a limit. Okay, you can see that we actually drawn in our trend line. We have our major trend line, right? It's first touch, second touch, third touch. Everybody knows third touches are entry points, and we just keep on riding the trend line. As long as the market closes above the trend line, then just keep, riding it. You can just see, guys. You can just see. Right, this over here was actually our breakout points on Nasdaq. This over here, this is when our bullish movements actually came to an end, guys. Remember, breakouts of a trend line indicates that the market is changing. The direction of the market is changing. So we no longer going to be looking for buys after this breakout. We actually want to ride the sun, And if you know the Falcon, if you went through the Falcon books, you'll understand the 90% rule, right? Or the fact that the market most of the time the market will mostly come to the lows that were to the higher lows of the trend line. You see, after the trend line is broken. So you can see right here, first high low hits. Next could be this one and these mini ones too. Yeah, you see. So now let me just plot in my raise. So there we go. I'm just going to focus on these ones. Okay, cool. Now let's focus on what's happening now. So we know that, okay, guys, you need to be able to understand and read the markets. You see, once you do that, you'll actually understand, you're going to have a better understanding of the market. So we know that, okay, yeah, we had a breakouts, hence why Nasdaq has been dropping so much lately because of the breakout of the major trend line. Guys, this trend line was major, like it's been strong. Now it's broken. Now something big's going to happen, So now let's go down to H4 because there really isn't anything else we can analyze. I can actually connect. Hey, the string lights is hot. Connect. Plot that in. So you can actually see that right now, Nasdaq, okay, we would anticipate like a double bottom or what, but then remember, guys, the major trend line was broken. So we know that the sellers are going to be coming in hard. The market is going to be dropping like crazy. So what we want to do is we want to wait for retests, we want to wait for continuation patterns to carry on riding the sell, right? So you can see this low is actually broken. Now our next focus is this high over here, this high over here. You can actually see the market is actually rejecting off this zone over here, right? So let's just go down to the 4-hour time frame. Guys, simplicity is key. Simplicity is key. Everybody knows. I preach this all the time. Simplicity is key. Zoom out again, guys. Yes, confirmation. Yes, you can see that this low is actually broken. At first, it was respected. Market open, it actually shot up. Shot up, but then as anticipated, as expected, it did break below. We probably got a retest on the smaller time frame over here. Right, let me just see. Yeah, there's some retest over here. You can see on the smaller time frame, so it would have entered sells over there, right? So I'm just going to delete this trend line now for the sake. Yeah, this trend line is hot. Ish. Wonder how these Instagram influencers do this thing. Right, so you can see here, it's actually, okay, let me see. 1 second, guys, 1 second. Okay, there we go. Right, so then we go down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, remember this array over here, this line over here is based off this high. You see over here, we have some sensitivity over here, right? So you can see that, okay, the market did close below, but it actually looks like it's retracing back up. Guys, most of the time, the retracements are entry points, so you just need to pay attention, guys. So let me just go down. Let's see. So now sticking to our trend line trading strategy, you know that we connect our trend line, right? So you can see we have 2 touches over here, but we're going to disregard this trend line because current market price is far from this trend line, right? We're going to dig deeper into the market, focus on the more like present market structure. So this over here, you can see we also have same thing, right? We can keep this one in. Let's go down to the 1-hour time frame, right? 1-hour time frame. Remember, let me just delete this line here because it's clustering our charts. We know that, okay. We got that over there. So remember, guys, this horizontal array here, this line here is based off that high that I showed, right? And you can actually see that the market, I believe that the market, guys, likes to take out the small accounts, right? So you can see here, this would have been, a lot of people have seen this as confirmation to buy, right? But mature traders know that usually the market would spike and then move up, This is exactly what happened. This is actually a fake out because the market is actually closing above, right? So let's just dig deeper. You see with trend lines, guys, remember we trade strictly trend lines. So you see we actually have drawn in this downward trend line, right? And this downward trend line has 1, 2, 3 touches. I actually saw this right over here in the morning around 9, 10, around there. Hence why. So this would have been an entry point to carry on riding the sell, right? But right now we can actually expect a retracement back up to the trend line. So we simply need to wait for Nasdaq to retrace back to our trend line. Simply retrace back to our downward trend line for the 4th touch. Then we can carry on riding the sell. So we can wait for something like this, drop back down. Remember, guys, our take profit is always our nearest low. You see in the downward trend line low and the upper trend line high, right? That's explained more in the first 3 Zoom sessions, right? So you can see, so this is pretty much my setup for Nasdaq. You know, guys, keeping it simple. Like, guys, simplicity is key. It's the simple setups that make you the most money. I mean, look at this. It really isn't much to it. First touch, second touch, third touch, bearish candlestick, sell. Would have made decent profits, right? So right now, let's wait for retracement back to the trend line. Wait for the market to close below our trend line. Targets will be this low over here, right? And then obviously this is more of an advanced strategy. We know that, okay, when the market reaches this low, either 2 things could happen. It could close above to form a double bottom, you know, to shoot back up, to shoot back up, make a retracement back to the trend line, or this low could actually be broken and then enter on the retest. So this is what I mean. Low, close below, wait for retest, go back down. But remember, guys, we don't predict the move. We don't predict how the market moves. We actually trade we trade based off what the market gives us. You know, trade what you see, not what you think, guys. You see a 4th touch, enter. You know, you see a retest, enter. You know, keeping it simple. It's the simple setups, guys, honestly speaking. So that's my breakdown for Nasdaq. There really isn't much to it. You can see that the structure of the market is a bit funny, but with the trend lines, you know, the market has actually presented lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high. We have a lower low here, another lower low, another lower low, right? But honestly speaking, that's my analysis on Nasdaq. I don't see much else to it. Let me just, this notification keeps popping up. That's my analysis on Nasdaq. Just a retracement back to the trend, because, guys, honestly speaking, there really isn't much else to it. I don't see much else, you know. Let me just go back to the daily time frame. So this is literally how I analyze, guys, and how I enter much. Everybody knows that I enter based on trend lines or that support and resistance zone. But most of the time, trend lines, guys, trend lines are too powerful. So let me see. Yeah, other than that, there's this major low and also this one here, right? But then other than that, there really isn't much else to it. Let me know what you guys thought about that. Let me know if I was going too fast. I feel like I was going too fast, but I hope everybody understands. So just leave a review in the chat before I move on to the next setup. Thanks, bro. That's clear. Yeah, I'll check the currencies. I'll check. So let me know what you guys think of that. And remember, guys, the market isn't always going to respect our setups. You know, this is the truth that no mentor tells the students. The market won't always respect your setups, guys. We trade based off probabilities, you know, and using this strategy, we know that the probability of, like, you know, it actually playing out pretty proper. If this trend line is actually broken, so let's say the market closes above, then we'll just simply wait for a retest of the trend line, then buy, you know, or maybe wait for a retest of here, then we could sell. But remember, like I said, we trade what we see, not what we think, right? Can we get 3 currency signals? Okay. See, when people put numbers, that's where people get it twisted. When you put numbers on trading, like you want to enter 3 signals. What if the market doesn't presents 3 opportunities. You know what I mean? So just let me know if you guys understood that. Only sure what you see is set up on another level. Yeah. You know the vibes, you know the vibes, you know the vibes. Right. So now we're gonna go on to US30. Fresh analysis, that's all I can say. I will shout out. So US30, again, same thing, guys. We start on the daily time frame. When we're on the daily time frame, we zoom out 3 to 4 times. Hey, the swing line was hot. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now we can see market structure. We can see that US30 overall is actually really, really bullish. You can see we have our lows over here. You know, US30, there was, if we were paying attention, you would have capitalized off this one a lot. You see how simple the 3-touch strategy is. First touch, second touch, third touch, enter buys, boom, profits. You see, literally, guys, you know the vibes. Go to your respect. Yeah, no bad blood, right? But let's focus on what's happening right now in US30. So we've seen the bigger picture. We can tell that US30 is pretty much bearish up until this point. This is our all-time high on US30 over here, right? And I actually had reason why US30 is dropping so much is because there was an upward trend line over here that was actually intersected. So you can see first low, second low, third touch over here. You can see that after the third touch, US30 did shoot up a little bit, but ended up closing below the trend line. This invalidates the trend line, and it's a sign that the market is changing, that the direction of the market is changing, right? And you look at this, hence why it dropped so much. Obviously, then there are pullbacks. There are those pullbacks. There are those patterns that form on the smaller time frames. Hence why we need to do. Hence why we use multi-time frame. That's hence why we do multi-time frame analysis. You know, because if you're only trading daily time frame, then it's going to be hard for you to get an entry point. You know. So let's then go down. Okay, before we go down, so I've drawn in the trend line, and then you can see actually we have a major support zone over here. We have something like this. We have a major support zone. So US30 is actually sitting on a major support zone. First bottom, second bottom, third touch over here. All right, so we can expect something. You just go down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame again, guys, same thing. Zoom out 3 to 4 times. Each time frame we go down, zoom out 3 to 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what's happening. I just want to see the touches on the zone. Guys, like you need to be able to read the market and like, you know, the market is speaking to you. Like, guys, the market literally speaks to you. Like, guys, you need to just know how to read it. This was just a fake out because you can see it actually closed above. Right? So let's focus on current market structure. These ads are annoying. I must pay to get the premium version. So you can see this is actually our breakout points. Like as crazy as it sounds, but you need to literally speak with the market. Like you need to read the market and speak it out loud. That way you actually understand what's going on, right? So this zone over here is the zone that I drew in from the daily time frame, right? So price action, pure price action, technical analysis, this zone is being respected. We can anticipate buys. However, we need to be extremely careful because you can see that momentum is actually against us right now. You can see that there's strong bearish momentum, right? So this was our breakout points. After the breakout points, market has been dropping, right? So we've been getting those highs and lows. It's like over here. It's over here. Guys, remember, most of the time, like each pullback is an entry point. This is something that I actually teach more in my one-on-ones because you see online, like it's very limited. So you can see pullback entry points. Also, yeah, this is also a pullback. Like every time the market closes below a low, most of the time it's going to retest. So you can see close below, retest, you see. Let's just go down to the 1-hour time frame. US30, what can we expect? So zoom out. Let's see if I can draw a downward trend line on my highs. There we go. Same thing on US30, guys. You see, we had our first touch over here. First touch. Got our second. Third touch, which is why the market dropped. And you can actually see, this is actually a proper setup. This right over here. And I believe this happened this morning. This right over here. third touch, we got a third touch of the trend line, and we got a retest of this low over here, this zone over here. You can see at 1, 2, right? And then boom, broke out, came to retest, hence why it dropped, right? Again, over here, you can see we actually have 2 lows over here. So you see number 1, 2 breakouts, got a small retest on the smaller time frame, right? So let's see. So this is actually that wick rejection that we saw on the H4 and daily time frame. You see that the market is actually starting to buy, but I just do believe that this is a retracement back to the trend line, and then we can start to look for entries around our trend line, right? Because remember, we don't want to go against the trend. We know that our bullish trend line has actually been broken, and you can see that the market is pretty bearish right now. So we want to literally ride the wave. You don't want to like go against the current, you know? So this is just a retracement back, either back to the trend line or back to this zone over here, right? Then we can execute sells back down to this low. Take profit as always our previous low, right? So simply keeping it simple, that's my analysis on US32. I'll also be waiting for the market to retrace to, I'm also waiting for the market to fully retrace back to the trend line for fourth touch, then we can enter only if this trend line is respected. So that's my analysis on US30. Just let me know what you guys think of that in the chat before I move on to another setup. Before we move, yeah, act like I'm fine, but this ring light is burning. Simplicity is key always. Simplicity is key. Online mentorship, you know the vibes. You know the vibes. Quick break. So that's US30. Most of the time, each pullback is an entry point. Okay, got it. Yeah. Just wait for that low to be respected, the previous low to be respected, or the trend line. Next up, we have German 30. Clean and clear our way. Okay. Let's delete. Reset. Really needed one mentorship Zoom session setup. Okay, so now we're on our third. So remember, guys, like I said, daily time frame. Daily time frame. Always on the daily time frame, and when we're on the daily time frame, we zoom out 3 to 4 times. 1, 2, 3. Just to understand, just to see how the market has been moving. So you can see that German 30 was actually pretty much bullish, but lately from this point to this point, from this point to this point, German 30 has actually been pretty much ranging, you know, it hasn't been trending as it used to in the past, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, look at this, you can see, look, you see now it's actually moving sideways. So there's a lot of noise, like it's contracted, it's English, it's you know, it's squashed, it's like in a tight space. So now it's going to be extremely volatile. That's one thing about ranging markets. And in a ranging markets, it's hard to draw those trend lines. You know, most of the time you just simply draw support and resistance zones. So so there we go. We can see that the German 30 has been ranging. German 30 has been ranging between my two vertical lines. Is this vertical or horizontal? Vertical, I think. Hey, I don't know, guys, but you know what I mean. So then what we do is, okay, we acknowledge that this was actually our two previous highs. You see a simple setup, guys, double top setup. Look at how much money it would have made you, you know, trade. I mean, so I just love your vibes. horizontal. My bad, guys. So you see, guys, how it's the simple setups that make you the most money. You can see it's actually a clean double top pattern. Trade what you see, not what you think, guys. Some people would have overthought this trade and be like, it's really a double top. It's too good to be true. Let me not enter, and nah, guys, nah. It really is the simple setups, right? So okay, we've drawn in our eyes. You can pretty much see that German Dutch is sitting on a major support zone. When I say major, I mean a zone or a trend line that has been being respected, and that's on a big time frame, right? So you can see here, guys, I'm just going to use the brush because when I use the arrow, it takes time. You see, we have our first touch, second touch, third touch, entry. See, triple bottom pattern, simple. Look at how it just shuts up. Here I would anticipate a fourth, but it didn't retrace back fully down to the zone. First, second, third. But you can see now that the market has actually touched the zone for the fourth time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is our area of interest. This movement's over here. Let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. So we can expect something. Let me just delete this blue circle. So each time frame we go down, guys, zoom out 3 to 4 times. Okay, sharp. There we go. Charts is reset. Zoom out 3 to 4 times. 1, 2, 3. Just see those touches. There we go. Nice pin bar. Is that okay? Yeah, you can see. Yeah, this zone is pretty solid. This one is pretty solid. So let's just break down the structure of this market. Trend lines, as always, on your highs, 1, 2, 3. So let me just show you guys this. This is the reason why German 30 has been dropping so much. Main reason why. Okay, yeah. So the first this is the first reason why it's dropping, because of the double top. I'm just zoom out to show you guys. There we go. So you see this zone over here. Actually, like a triple or fourth, whatever, 4 touches of this zone. And you see we have a first touch, second touch, third touch, right? Third touch, enter, guys. Look at that. You see the market is dropped down. But now the market is actually sitting on our support zone. So we can actually wait for a retracement, right? But to where? Let me see. Yeah, here I was anticipating a reversal of this low. You can see we even got a wick there. Or it could just go down to the 1 hour time frame. Indices are very, very confusing right now, right? I can actually draw in a downward trend line over here. So you see we have 1, 2, we have 2 touches. 2 touches, so we can simply just wait for the market to retrace all the way back to the trend line to carry on riding the sell. Because remember, guys, we don't want to go against momentum. However, if this trend line is intersected, then we'll just simply wait for a retest. You know what I mean? Wait for a retest of the trend line. Yeah, wait for a retest of the trend line, because right now there isn't like a proper reason to enter the market right now. Remember, we enter based off trend lines. This here, I feel like this move here is going to be manipulated too much. There's too much noise here. A lot of accounts are going to be blown. Let's just wait for the trend line. Okay. Next up, currency pair. Just let me know what you guys thought about that one. Zoom alerts, 8 minutes left. Zoom trying to cut our meeting short. Somebody asked me, why don't I upgrade to the premium version? I tried to do that, get that license thing, but that thing is like 30K. So hey, I'd rather use that 30K on like doing like a tour. That's actually where I got the main idea to do a tour. When I saw the cost of the Zoom, like to add up to like what, 2,000 people. Yeah, it's like 30K once off. I'd rather use that money to like, do like a tour, like, to cities, right? So USD CAD, same thing, guys. We always start analysis on the daily time frame and we zoom out 3 to 4 times. You can see here that USD CAD has actually presented nice lows. First one, yeah. Second, So you see first touch, second touch, third touch, entry points. Look how the market shot. I'm using my fingers if you guys can. I'm used to one-on-ones ish. Third touch, first touch, second touch, third touch over here. And look how the market shot up. Simply stretch out trend line. You can see we got a fourth touch and fifth touch, right? And that's why the market is actually shooting up right now. No clean. Why did you stop trading binary? Inconsistent ish. Make money today, lose it tomorrow. You see, that's why I stick to currency pairs and indices, but most of the time currency pairs. See over here, we had a clean double top pattern, hence why the market dropped back down to our trend line, reached our trend line. Now we're shooting back up. We could actually anticipate bullish movements all the way back up to this zone over here, or possibly another retracement back down to the trend line. But remember, we don't predict the market, we just trade what we see. But imagine, guys, it's the daily time frame and we've analyzed so much. So now we got onto the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, zoom out. You can see we actually have lower highs. So we have 1, 2. We're actually sitting on the third touch. Right. So this is a very, very it's sentimental. It's a very interesting movement right now. You see, my English, this is just all eyes are here. We want to see how the market is going to react to this trend line, third touch, right? It's either the market could actually break above, close above. If it closes above, then we just simply wait for a retest to go up. Simple, clean breakouts and retest. However, if the market gives us strong bearish confirmation, like a nice strong bearish reversal or something, because you can see momentum is still strong, guys. You need to wait for that proper confirmation, you know what I mean, to avoid being on the wrong side. So yes, we are sitting on the third side. We just need proper confirmation, right? Actually, you can see this trend line here, we actually got a triple bottom pattern too. So that would have been extra confirmation to enter. You can see first, second, third, boom, up. Yo, guys, we have 5 minutes on the Zoom session left, right? So the 1 hour, so you can see 1 hour, there's like a fake out. You see when the market is like this, but nah, this thing actually is going to drop because it tries to close above, but you can see that the bulls were not strong enough. The base ended up coming, yes, it closed above, but then the base ended up coming to correct the movements of the markets to close below. So yeah, sells are actually valid on USD CAD. Targets would be always the lows. So this would be my target here, 1.25577, right? My confirmation for this trade is the fact that the market closed above, but then ended up closing below. As confusing as that sounds, but you can see that the sellers actually came and they corrected the movements of the market, right? So I'm just going to skim through the other setups, guys, because we literally have 4 minutes left. So USD JPY, daily time frame. You can see daily time frame I plotted in my parallel trend line. Also had an upward trend line, but I deleted it because it's actually irrelevant because I believe it was broken. Let me just double check. One. There you can see it was broken. Breakout points, retest, boom, sell. Now sitting on this low over here. Let's see what can we expect on this low. It's either it's going to be respected or broken. So you see we're sitting on this low here. Yes, the bulls, yes, the market did try to push up to the upside, but you can see we actually have this downward trend line over here. See lower high, 1, 2, 3, third touch, sell, fourth touch. Yeah, this is actually a sell. However, we need to be careful because now the market is actually in a tight space. Right? We just go down to the 1 hour time frame. And this is tight. This is tight. So you can see that the market actually did try to close above the trend line. But yeah, but it's too late to sell now. It is too late to sell now. And plus there's a lot of noise here and you see there's too many setups. Now we can see an inverse head and shoulders. So for personal preference, for safety reasons, just going to stay out. Again here, gold I had in my nice channel. It's like a wedge, but it's not as tight. So I'm just going to put it a channel. You can see first touch, second touch, would anticipate a third touch, didn't fully get it. But I did notice that a high was actually broken on the H from the 4 hour time frame. There we go. So you can see that this zone over here was actually broken. This high was broken, and gold closed above, came back to retest, hence why it shut up. Right. So I drew in my flag pattern over here. It wasn't the neatest of flag patterns. You can see it's extremely choppy, right? So I didn't enter this trade, and I didn't send it because it's too choppy. You know what I mean? It wasn't a nice simple breakout retest. Usually this pattern plays out quite simply, like after the retest, it shoots back up, but you can see it came back down to retest again. Not only the trend line, but also this zone. So too much manipulation here. However, you can see we're actually sitting on a resistance level, right? So my bias on gold is that I'm waiting to see how it reacts to this resistance level. But looking at the overall movements, remember retesting this high, broke out this flag pattern, we can possibly actually expect gold to close above the zone. Once it closes above the zone, then we simply wait for a retest to continue riding the move to the upside, right? That's my setup on gold. You can see that the flag was broken. The zone was also broken and retested. Both the flag and zone was retested, right? Right now, there's a lot of pressure actually on the market. A lot of pressure right now on gold. A lot. So yeah, there's less than a minute left in the session. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna unmute everyone and let everyone have a chance to interact. So you guys can unmute yourselves now. And let me actually end the recording. So that comes to the end of our session, guys. Let's pay attention to the market. Let's wait for our setups to form out. And yeah.
Are we still getting the